You're
Everybody crunching.
caught me slipping, but it's cool.
Right. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? PR Project, episode 54. We're moving along, y'all. We're moving along.
Shout out Bill Romanowski.
If that was his number,
I think he was a vile racist, I believe. So I don't know if I need to be shouting him out.
wait, it was like Urlacher 54 too? I don't know why that's popping in my head.
Yeah, I think so.
And he's also an interesting character in the world.
Is he?
Yeah,
Is
he
he? I'm
be
not-
on that MAGA train, I think.
What's MAGA?
I'm not sure if you're familiar.
I don't know if you've been around the last few years. Yeah, man. So before we started, we were talking about it's been a lot of drama. You want to just start with the drama?
Yeah.
Running drama,
Okay.
running industry drama.
Yeah, let's start with the drama. I'll add a little thing in here. What's it called that happened today? Twin Cities.
Twin Cities, TC.
Twin Cities. Catastrophe.
Well, avoided. Depending on how you look
Catastrophe,
at it, I
yeah,
guess.
catastrophe avoided.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I spelled catastrophe right, but
Just
I'm
put
not-
cancellation. Cancellations are probably the same amount of letters.
Is cancel spelled with 2 L's or 1? Because my autocorrect always put 1, and I'm just like, this don't look right.
I think it's 2.
cancel.
Yeah, that's what we gonna be soon.
Is that how you spell catastrophe? It felt right.
No, yeah,
No, that's it. Isn't it?
Avoid, and then I forgot the ed on the avoid.
Yeah.
All right, so the Twin Cities Marathon was canceled today, 2 hours before the start, because it was level black or cold black.
Yeah, what
black
they call it?
flag.
Black flag. Yeah.
Black flag. That sounds racist, but so it was a black flag. Red flag is bad. Black flag is terrible. All right. So
For the
black
record, we
flag-
started when we started New York, it was yellow flag, and then
that was yellow flag.
halfway through it went to red flag. I think they use a different scale though.
Well, it got canceled 2 hours beforehand. The marathon. I think did the half still go off?
No, there was a 10 miler, and the 10 miler got canceled too.
Jeez.
There was no races ran.
Okay. All right. So a bunch of pros were there too. Not a bunch, but there was a few pros there too that I follow. McKenna Myler was there. She obviously didn't run. Laura Thweet was there. So I think it was gonna be a decent field, yeah.
How you pronounce her last name again?
Thweet.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can pronounce that. I don't know if my teeth and tongue work like that. Pause.
just call it Laura Wheat. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. It got canceled. What do you guys think about that? Is that
so we're having questions already. What is a black flag? So it was due to heat. So
heat?
At the start, the intended start time, the weather would have been 68 degrees with 90% humidity, I believe. So that combination caused the I think they believe that would have overwhelmed the medical staffing that they had there, because they weren't expecting those conditions until a few days ago. So they canceled it out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah, I mean, and then what'd you say about grandma's? People were saying that like grandma's marathon goes off in the summertime and no problem. But I feel like it's like grandma's, like you said before before we got on air, like grandma's is prepared for that weather, because that's a factor every year. So they have all the stuff, probably like ice and sponges and all that stuff, and probably extra water stations. But like if a race is used to it being 50, 60 degrees or lower, they're not ready for that. They're not ready to support that many people to not like have medical issues.
And the interesting thing is I was listening to the Strength Running podcast a few weeks ago, and they had the Twin Cities Marathon race director on there, and he was just selling the race and saying how much how fun the race is and all of that stuff. And when I saw it got canceled this morning, I'm like, man, I can't imagine having to be the race director to have to call it, because that's tough, like to make that decision knowing that all those people traveled there and all those people trained to run that marathon, and you're the one that has to make the decision that they don't get to. Like you are not a popular person.
I'm also curious to see like what kind of weather maps he was looking at to say like, well, maybe this is like the night before, thinking maybe the weather will be better in the morning. Like what kind of?
Well, I mean, I guarantee.
The meteorologist you're talking to that says, no, you can hold on.
No, he was talking to Siri, because Siri would be like, it's not gonna rain today, and then you go outside, it's raining. You look at Siri again, like, and then she waits like 3 minutes, and she says, "Oh yeah, it's raining outside."
Yeah, I meant to tell you, bro, it's raining out though.
Oh, you meant rain? Okay. I thought you said train. Like, no, what? Yeah. So,
no train outside.
Right, there's no train out here. I feel bad for this guy, right, Aaron? Like probably like the race director to have to like pull that off. But then imagine everything, all roads lead back to Savannah rock and roll. Imagine being the race director that cancels a marathon an hour before the start, the day before the Boston cutoff. So people were like, they're so half the people there probably were like, okay, I got one more day. This is the day I'm gonna qualify. It's a flat course. It's water stations everywhere. It's a party. It's music. It's gonna be great. And cancel. And there's no way that you can double. There's no way. There's nowhere else to go. You can't register for America. You know what I mean? Like, there's no. That was it. It was over.
Yeah. No. It's such a tough call. Like, man, I can't imagine. And I feel so bad for the runners. I saw that a lot of people still went out and ran the course with their bibs on. Like, it's tough. Yeah. It's tough, especially if you've been training all through the summer in preparation for a warm marathon. So you're like, all right, I'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? I've done the work to be prepared for it. And like, imagine it being like your first marathon, or even like somebody that's trying to do 50 states and it's like your 50, this is your last one. This is my last marathon. This is my 50th state. And then you got to wait until the next marathon in Minnesota. If you don't even live in Minnesota, it's just all around. It's just a unfortunate turn of events.
Yeah. I saw this morning on Facebook, Luke Humphrey was like, here's a list of marathons in the area. Here's what I would do depending on which marathon you're looking to go to in terms of training. Like, he was on the ball, so he must have been paying attention pretty closely, because I saw that before the run started. So
yeah, man, it's tough. But for the record, me and Tommy ran New York City in them same conditions last year,
and look
would
at
not
us.
recommend. I saw so much carnage, bro. I would not recommend.
After like mile like 17, 18, it was just really like 20 and on. It was just like, I mean, it sounds extreme, but there's bodies everywhere, bro.
Yeah, and I saw people tweeting like they should have left that up to the runners. If you thought that you couldn't handle the heat, then just don't run.
No, I'm like, no. Anyway.
Runners are crazy. You have to protect them from themselves, because it could be a firestorm outside. But if somebody trains 16 weeks for a marathon, they're gonna try it. So you definitely got to protect people from themselves.
Yeah,
and it's like if you because if something happens to people, then it's on the race.
Yeah, runners don't care about injuries. They'll go out there with their knee feeling bad, or their hips or whatever. And runners don't adjust for the heat. They got to work out. Oh, I should probably adjust my paces. I got this.
What do you mean? What do you mean by runners don't adjust to?
I adjust for the heat. I try to run faster so I can get it over with quicker.
Yeah, I went out in New York like nothing. Like there was like, oh, this is fine. I run 26 miles in 75.
Literally that dog in the house on fire.
Yeah,
this is fine.
This is fine. All right, one piece of drama to the next. Oh yeah, everybody, tap in. Let us know if you ran today. How you doing? What's your next race? Where are you from? Just whatever random information that you'd like for us to have, drop it in the chat. Also, make sure you are liking this episode live on YouTube. Hit the like button. If you don't subscribe to this YouTube channel, do so now. because you can do that without having to like click out. Subscribe and like and comment, and tell a friend at the same time that you're doing that. You know what I mean? All the stuff.
Do it all right now. Do it all right now.
Do it all right now.
I'll support this
all right,
message.
you know, just to make it more difficult. Hey,
shout
stay
out David
hard.
Goggins, bro. You feel
Stay
me?
hard.
You feel me? Gotta make things more difficult, bro.
Man, that's what I was thinking about one day. You know what I'm saying? Not even wearing a singlet. Just put the safety pins in my skin. Stay hard. You know.
I thought you was gonna say you put on a black puffer jacket in the middle of the summer. Really turn things up.
Right. One of them sweat fits. Be out here looking like
Joe Robinson said, I'm tuned in. Shout out Big Joe.
I'm gonna wear sweatpants and a hoodie in the middle of the summer. Get my Martin Lawrence on.
That's crazy. That's crazy that he the face of overheating on a run. That's crazy.
Man, I wish we need like an engineer on the side just to like drop like pictures in, because that would be perfect. Just drop Martin Lawrence in real quick, because he was out there looking crazy. All right, let's one drama to the next. Hopefully this one is quicker than this last one, which I don't think it will be. The Boston Marathon drama. So Boston just announced, or last week announced, that the cutoff or the buffer, I don't even know what to call it really anymore. The cutoff buffer, whatever, was 5 minutes and 29 seconds. So that means you had to run 5 minutes and 29 seconds, or you had to run 5 minutes and 30 seconds faster than your 31 seconds faster than your qualifying time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were excluded this year.
11,000 people did not make it.
11,000 people did not make it.
That's such a big number.
Our mathematician, our in-house mathematician, did some science, and what is it? 2,000 more charity bibs.
Yeah, charity or slash invitational bibs.
Charity or slash invitational bibs, and I don't know what to say.
It's Boston being Boston. What else is there to say?
Yeah, it's like their first thing is like, well, these streets are people. I don't even know if they've said it, but people just jump to their defense, like, oh, you know, these streets are too small, bro. If I was saying this today, if Krim can handle, what were they up to, like 20 or 25,000 at one point when they were like the biggest race in Michigan?
I don't know.
Yeah, Krim was the biggest race in Michigan at one point, bigger than Free Press.
I believe that, yeah, for sure. I just didn't know what the number was.
But if they can handle
50,000 people over a bridge,
75. So if they can handle, I mean, Boston can do 35 or 40,000. I mean, I don't really get it. I don't get it.
I think you and I were talking. I think my issue is it's not so much the race itself that doesn't want to do it, which maybe they don't, but I think it's the towns that are.
It's the towns for sure. It's the towns for sure.
Yeah. I
mean, it's the people, you know, that like have to deal with, you know, because if you add 20,000 more people or 10,000 more people, that's another hour. I mean, there's somewhere in that, because like in Berlin there was 50,000 people. I talked to somebody afterwards. My start was at 9:15. Their start was at 10:30. You know what I'm saying? And then at that start time, you're running slower than me, so you ain't finishing until 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think there's a lot of probably factors that actually make sense, but does feel like Boston being Boston though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably somebody watching people run past their house and they'd be like, 30,000,
right?
30,001.
Like, right, exactly. This is it. That's it. They count the last few people. Like, that's it. Too much. I mean, but they are shutting. I'm not defending it, but they are shutting down a main thoroughfare for like a long time.
It's in the morning of a day that most people don't even work, bro. It's not that deep.
That's the other part. Yeah, right. So it's
New England, so like all New England really shuts down that day anyway. It sounds like Boston.
I think it's a combination of Boston not wanting to change tradition, and the towns are like, we're not gonna let you change tradition anyway. So
we got comments on the Boston thing. No, everybody's staying quiet. Let's move on from this then. If no one's talking about Boston.
No. We do have comments. Mark, shout out Mark, made the cut by 52 seconds. You comfortable amount of time to spare.
Yeah. It's like, wait, isn't it? I bet when he got that announcement, Marcus doing math like a mother, like, yo, wait, hold up. 55
Chris
minutes.
says he got cut. He had a 4-minute and 18-second buffer, but more motivation for this week in Chicago to go faster.
Oh, that's tough.
That was like my first thought though. Was like for people that did get it, you're forever a BQ. You forever have a BQ. I mean, it ain't like you don't have a BQ. You have that. But then if you did that, if you ran 4 minutes and 18 seconds under, you can definitely do that again and then or lower that, I believe, you know.
I count this one as a win for running with Sully. Says not fast enough for Boston yet, so no comment. You know what I'm saying? We winning out here. Us non-BQ, we winning out here. What you mean? I've never seen people this mad to not be able to spend $300. It's crazy. They mad. They super mad, bro.
Right.
They don't take my $300.
Oh man. No, not even that. And then you gotta do the hotel and this and that, all that. That's a hefty trip, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And then we had somebody check in with the daily mileage. Jalen Thomas from DC, living in Sacramento, did 16 easy day training for my first full CIM this December. I heard CIM is stupid fast.
Yeah.
I was looking at. Did y'all see the post that was like the top 5 races that qualify for Boston? And it's like Boston, Chicago, Berlin, CIM, and I forgot what the fifth.
I think CIM is like the only non-major or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like
London.
It was London. Yeah, it was literally all majors and then CIM. So
that's crazy. All right, let's move on because we gotta try to make it good here. Let's do a race recap. Let's do a Growler Gallop recap.
I'll be quick.
So, no, man. All right.
I'll be quick. It was non-eventful.
Summer Jam screen.
All right. I ran. So the Growler, the Atwater Growler Gallop, is a 10-mile race that goes off in the fall in Detroit. Well, fall in Detroit every year. I've ran it 3 or 4 times at this point. The most unique thing about this race is that it starts at 4 p.m. So that's pretty interesting, seeing as most races start at the absolute crack of dawn, sometimes before dawn. So I knew that weather would be a factor. Keeping with the theme of this episode, I knew that weather would be a factor. So it was 77 degrees at the start. I believe that would be considered black flag status, but it wasn't a marathon. It was just 10 miler. And the way it's set up, we start out on the riverfront in Detroit, right along the Detroit River. And then we run onto an island that is owned by Detroit called Belle Isle. And Belle Isle is on the Detroit River, but it's like the Detroit River is running in between Windsor, Canada, and Detroit. And I got on Belle Isle. And one thing about Belle Isle, whatever the conditions are, whatever the weather conditions are in the real world, Belle Isle is like, it's going to intensify it. It just ratchets it up like times 5. So I think there were 14 mile an hour wind gusts, and I made a left. It's like a loop around Belle Isle. So I'm floating. I'm right on pace for the first 3 miles. I make a left on Belle Isle to continue down the loop. And it was just like somebody handed me a backpack with like 20-pound weights in it. Cause it was just like, nah. And I was running next to this kid, and I could tell he was kind of like gauging off me, but he was like quite a bit ahead, but he started coming back to me. And eventually he just stopped and stepped off. And then there was another guy that was just like sitting on the side of the road. And I'm just like, this is 4 miles in, bro. Like,
whoa,
this is kind of crazy. So yeah, that we were running that straight for like 2.5 miles right into the headwind. And then, so I'm thinking the whole time, like, man, like the thoughts got dark. I'm like, am I training for no reason? Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't feel any improvement. This is the same story every race. Like, it was just dark. But when I made that left out from that straight going into the wind, I got back close to pace and I started feeling strong again. And I'm just like, See, you got to stop thinking like that. You got to stop thinking in such a fatalist view when things start to go bad in a race, because it's not always the same thing. Like sometimes it's literally out of your control. So I regained my focus, picked a few people off, finishing up, and I finished up with a 10-mile PR, I believe, an official 10-mile PR, since that's the only 10-mile race I really run. So an official 10-mile PR, that was cool.
Yeah, wasn't your average mile height 6:30, 6:34?
6:28, according to.
Hey, chill, bro. Like, don't get it messed up, Gary. You out here 6:30 something. My man is 6:30.
No, well, on Strava it says 6:35 because it was a little. I think the course was cut a little short, so officially it says 6:28, but I think it was closer to 6:30.
Either way, that's flying, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so I was proud that I was able to hang in there and just like face the adversity and not give up, because I did feel like stopping a few times. I did feel like stepping off. So the fact that I was able to hang in there and give it an honest effort and close out strong, that was promising, especially in that weather, since I don't usually do well in heat. But I knew I wanted to make a point to really give it an honest effort and not give up, even though it was non-ideal conditions. So did that, and that was cool. That was that was last Sunday, and I haven't had a day off since. And I hadn't had a day off for a couple weeks before that. So I think I'm at like day 23 in a row. This is the longest streak I've ever had in my life. So, I mean, it's nothing crazy like some of the people that streak, but 23 days in a row during marathon training or half marathon training is pretty intense. So I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Uh-oh. I think
that's how some of Luke's longer plans were for like Boston. Is like you just do like that instead of a day off, you get like 4 miles easy. So then you have like this run streak in the middle of your training. But I like having these days off now because my body's starting to feel that cumulative fatigue for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think you back, Tommy. Can't hear you though. Nope.
Can't hear you though.
You were frozen, but we can see you. You're moving.
We back?
Yeah, we back.
I was about to say that's crazy that you've been on a streak, and then also that you put up that effort in that race last weekend, and then double back, and then had a bomb workout today.
Yeah.
So the craziest thing about today's workout is that I had a 3x3 miles at half marathon pace today, and my overall time during that portion of the workout, with the recoveries included, was faster than the race last week. So I guess that kind of goes to show that the heat really does play a factor, because it was much cooler today. Yeah. Conditions were much more ideal, and I didn't feel like
it was still warm today though too. Like it wasn't like cool. It was still humid and warm. So it just, I felt it for sure. So
yeah, but it was more like 65-degree warm than 77-degree warm. So that was cool. And a lot of that route is shaded too, so that helped. And no wind, because last week it was 15.
All right, you did have hills.
This week it wasn't. Yeah. So very promising workout today. A good confidence builder. I guess it was kind of like a half marathon simulator, 3x3 miles. That's 9 miles of half marathon pace work. So I was proud of it. Cut down pretty strong. So yeah, man. But that's just the prelude. That was the opener. Let's get to the real main event, which is
all right. And y'all know that I'm bad at race recaps, so y'all gonna have to ask me questions to help me out through this.
All right, let's start with where were you?
Tommy will tell you the exact minute point of the race when he dropped his dropped the top of his third gel.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's start mile by mile, starting with the warm up.
Right. So bro. So let me tell you, dog. So the most hectic beginning of a race ever, bro. Like the way that they send you through to the start is like they send you through like the park that the start and finishing shoot is in. And somehow like everybody was it seemed like it was just so many people going in so many different directions, to the point where like a bunch of people that were like running in this same way that I was going, like ended up having to jump 2 fences before a race to get to the start in time. Like it felt like, I mean, because everybody like tense. We really had like 10 minutes, so we probably could have found a way around. But one person jumped the fence and it worked for him. So then people just started jumping this fence and they were like trampling down this bush that was on the other side of the fence. And then like one dude was like kind of on the edge of falling into the bush, but he was like, help me. Like, and I reached back to like help him not fall in the bush, you know? Because we right at the start doing all this, like we're jumping over fences parallel to where Kipchoge is standing. Like you could see them like right there. Like we're like, what is like what's happening? And then because there was no signs, like you know how normally like for a start it's fairly open, like you're in like a city center or something like that, and you can see for a distance, like okay, Corral B, yeah, all these entrances. But it was in a wooded area kind of, so you couldn't see very far. And then some of the wording wasn't in English, and or maybe I was just dyslexic at the moment.
Your Duolingo didn't help it?
Bro. Huh?
The Duolingo didn't get you through that?
Duolingo. I know how to order coffee, bro. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even order coffee the whole time. And when I did, the lady spoke English. And I was like, I was kind of offended that she could speak English. Like, yo, what was the point of all this? You know what I'm saying? Talk about Aaron streak. I had a really good streak going with Duolingo, but I'm done with that now. No, so, and then this guy also, bro, I'm supposed to be talking about the race, but so we were like in this corral, like sardines, you know, like close, right? And this guy behind me, like all of a sudden when they started announcing the pros, I think he must have had his camera up, like, so he got his hands up like this, and he gets, they playing music and they announcing the pros, and he started jumping up and down. Right? So he's jumping down, bro, and he got like a belly, and he like bumping my back. Like he just almost. I turned around like, bro, what are you doing? And then he was like, sorry. Like he couldn't. I mean, he didn't sound like he speaks English very fluently, which it seemed like a lot of people there because it seemed like there was. Obviously, it's over there, so it's like more people are there from other countries, I think, than they would be like for Chicago. But he said sorry. So I think I'm done with the guy, right? And then they start saying Kipchoge, you know, they start giving his intro, like 70 million time winner, da da da. And as soon as they start going off, then he start doing it again. And I turn around like, can you stop, please? And he was like, sorry. And I'm like, no, what would make you want to do what? At what point did you not feel your stomach touching my back, bro? Like it was the worst. I'm like, I cannot let this ruin my day, but I think it might have. Anyway, so let's get past that part. So we start the race, and it was pretty epic. Like having seen Berlin on TV so many different times, like it just was epic to be like going down that chute, going towards that big roundabout near like the Victory Tower. It was just so cool. Some protesters threw out orange paint on the course. That was cool. You got to jump over that. It was a little obstacle course right in the beginning. Because like apparently the paint must be like biodegradable or something. I don't know. And so like mile 2.4, because we're talking about specifics here, this dude tripped and fell so hard in front of me. I had to leap over him. Are we doing like mile by mile thing here, or are we just talking about? So
let's just give us some highlights. Like, yeah, people tripping and falling.
Right. Now that we got past the fun stuff, the guy fell. I jumped over him. I was proud of myself. But like everything was going pretty well. Mile 6 or 7 though is like when I experienced like my first like rough patch. Like meant like it wasn't just mental too. I mean, because it was like my legs felt heavier than I felt like they should have at mile 6 or 7. And I got out fast, but I got out fast, you know, I got out at the same speed that I normally do. You know what I'm saying? Or that I plan to, like, and I popcorn. But like it was just surprising to at 6-7 miles to have to deal with that, considering I just ran a half 3 weeks before that at a faster pace than that and had no issues at all. Same shoes pretty much. So I was kind of like going through it, got past that. Then but mile 10 or 11, it was like I knew it was a bad day because I'm like, dude, I got 16 miles left and I'm already like having to have gone to the well twice. Not well, but had to like talk myself into not worrying about my legs. It was just too early. So I just toughed it out the rest of the way. Had to stop a few different times just to like stretch and get my hamstrings together because I was starting to feel like some like type of cramps and stuff. Fun fact though, after Megan Featherstone, her name isn't Megan Featherstone, is it? Heather, yeah, Heather Feather. Is it?
No.
No, it isn't. So she saw me after.
Heather Feather doesn't sound right.
Heather Feather. So she saw me after.
It is Megan.
Megan. Well, okay, because Megan from Believe in the Run is Megan too. So it's kind of like I just didn't think it was two Megan. So Megan Featherstone said she passed me like with 300 meters to go, and she was like, she saw me and could see it like as she was like gaining on me. She was like, you had so much salt stains like on your back and neck and arms and legs and stuff like that. She was like, you, for whatever reason, this day you lost way too much salt, like way too much. So she was like, I don't know what you're going through, but you needed way more salt than anything. So like if your legs are cramping or legs heavy, it wasn't because of your training or whatever. I could see what the issue was, So that's good. I mean, it's good to know that like I don't know what went wrong because I don't normally have that much. I'm a salty sweater, but not like that. Like it was everywhere.
No, since you told me that, I've been taking the salt sticks with me and all my
so she also said that the salt stick tabs are like 25 grams, something like a smaller gram, and then there's these pills that like if people that are heavy sweaters, salty sweaters, there's actual pills that are like 250 milligrams, so like it's almost 10 times more, whatever the thing is. But that would be what I would probably need to take. And she's like, some people will even take those pills with them on the run and figure it out, like how to take it while running, as opposed to just to choose. But anyway, so first half was decent. Second half was not as good. I'm very aware that 250 as a total, as a finishing time is not bad at all. And the farther I get away from that time, the happier I am that I pulled that together and still did a 250 in a race that I was really I was looking for 241. So I mean 9 minutes. 9 minutes is a lot, but 9 minutes isn't that bad on a bad day, So I'm like, I'm happy with the way I went out. If I could do it again, I would not have changed anything because there's no way I would have known. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he went out too fast and burnt out. It was just like something was wrong, and I don't know what it was. So we'll just try to.
There's like two questions real quick. One, going back to the sweat thing, I wonder if our friends at Nick's could say, look, here's how many salt chews or how many salt pills you would need based on the information you have. So I like to circle back on that with her on that. And then two, how was the course? Like, was it like, you've been to Chicago, New York, Boston, in terms of like, was it pretty? Did you pay attention to any of that stuff at all?
Yeah, no, I don't know about pretty. Because there's a lot of city, it felt like, and
like old city or like modern city?
It just looks different city. You know what I mean? Like it's not. There are some spots or like some churches and things that are really old and really cool looking. I wasn't looking at it like that, but though even the way that their buildings are structured, it just looks a lot different, than here for some parts of the city. Some parts look very much like a normal, like a city here, not normal city, but a city here. But then other parts look more. It just looks more like European of a area. But there was a lot of graffiti, which was kind of cool. Like it was like on different spots. Like it wasn't like disgusting looking like anything like that, but it was a lot of cool like little sites. But I think that like for the course wise, people talk about how fast it is. I didn't necessarily have that experience where it just felt fast, and I think maybe that was also in playing with me a little bit. Like it shouldn't be like this. Like it should be fast because there's a couple points where like even if you look at the elevation, gain on the map on there, it's not a flat course. Like it's not rolling by far, but there's points where you are climbing for a good amount of time, but you're just not climbing there's no sharp climbs except for like one or two little bridges. But some of them are just like maybe a mile of you just steady kind of going up and it's a little deceiving that you may not even see it. But then also on the other side of that, you're going down quite a ways as well. But I think that if I had to like judge the courses, like the crowd, you know how Chicago was a lot of crowds, but then it was like moments where there's big crowds and then like nothing.
Yeah.
Like in Berlin, there was nothing to me. Like there was always somebody there, somebody around. Like it was always cheering. There were parts where like it was so many people that like it narrowed the road. Like you know how in Boston there's like certain parts where it gets a little tighter. Like it did that a few times. It was just people lined everywhere, and it was crazy. Yeah, so it was a really great experience. I'm not sure if I go all the way back to Berlin to do it again. I don't think I liked it like that. Knowing me though, like I have like I'd love to, run better there, but I don't know if I'd pay my own money, so to speak,
Right.
to go back. But it was a really great experience, bro. Like to be able to get the 4th star there, and that was great. And to be like kind of not a part of the buzz, but just be in the area when like all the buzz was going on about the world record, like just to kind of be in the area. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, because I was smashed it. She smashed that world record.
Yeah, smashed the world record. So if you guys don't know, the world record was like 2:14 something. For the women's world marathon record, it was 2:14 and some change, and she lowered it to 2:11 something, which is a humongous jump.
I mean,
huge. Yeah. I don't even know if a man, in like recent time, I don't think a man has broken the record by 2 minutes and some change. That's a lot of time.
It's
a big chunk.
So I guess she apparently in the last 2K or something like that, she ran the same pace or something like that as Kipchoge did in the last parts of his 2K.
She turned on that 800 meter speed.
So I watched the race back though, and she legit, her pacer was like right here. She was like lockstep with this guy, even when he was trying to like get out of her way to like go, like she was trying to wave her on. She would just like follow him like out the way, and he was just like, I guess we here.
Locked in.
Yeah, locked in. She didn't like start running on her own until like after the final left turn. So that was probably 800 meters or something like that.
That's crazy for a pacer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like that's why they have 2 different records. I forgot what they call it, but there's a women's only record, and then there's a mixed race record, and she broke the mixed race record, which is the one that kind of matters, I guess, the most to everybody. But
yes, yeah, I've never seen a pacer go that long into it.
Yeah, for the women, they do it. They do.
Yeah, because a man can run that time. And
yeah, that guy was probably like a 2:05 guy.
Oh no, I get it. I just
yeah, it's different for sure. It's definitely a different thing. Like in London, you didn't see like Sifan Hassan. I don't think she had one. I don't know what the deal was with that, but yeah. So it was all in all, it was a really great day. Week was great. I got a lot of support from brands and stuff like that. Rock with CLA while I was out there. Did a shakeout. Did a panel with pioneers. They did a pop-up in Berlin. That's just so crazy to me still. That's just big time. But it was a really great weekend. I'm not even mad about it. Like I was a little bit, I'm disappointed, but I'm not like upset.
Yeah, you should be. That's valid feelings. Like you went there to do a certain thing and you came up short. So there's validity in feeling like you left something on the table, but there's also value in appreciating the experience. It's not every day where we get to travel across the world to run, and sometimes we kind of got to zoom out and kind of understand the perspective of things that we're doing and the gravity of the experiences and memories that we are making, even though, the race might not go as planned. I think it was still a successful trip for you. And it's something that you'll be able to talk about for the rest of your life. So.
Right. And then you called me, FaceTime me after, you gave me some time to cool off too, but like you called me and at that moment, everyone was like oh, it's fine, it's great, what I'm saying? Like, oh, you did 250 still. Like everybody's like, oh, you're good, And
You won the weekend.
Right. Yeah.
That's all that matter right there.
I was with my mom.
Mom had fun. That's all that matters. The weekend is won.
Right. But like you called and was like, bro, I feel you. Trust me, I got you. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, cool. Because like at least I felt validated to like, because you feel like a brat, low key. You run faster than It's just like, can I just be mad for a little bit?
Yeah.
But this part, real quick, Stephanie said the highlight of Berlin is definitely running under the Brandenburg Gate towards the end of the finish. That was pretty epic. It's hard to like. There's not much in the States for real, except for like the monuments and stuff like that in DC. That is like as massive as like some of the structures there are, like in old. You know what I'm saying? Like you go into the Brandenburg Gate, it's like, how did this even? What's going on? Like what happened here? And then there's this church that was, there's like this old Lutheran church that is made out of like sandstone or whatever, and it starts to get black on certain sides because they can't power wash and clean it, so it's just like it is what it is. And then they have patches on the pillars from old bullet holes from World War II because they can't fix it, so they just put these patches over it. And you're just looking at this building, and then you start kind of looking around like how far you are away from the building, because it's hard to like feel how like. It's just some of these buildings are so enormous that it's like it's just hard to imagine who put these things together, and they've been there so long. Like what, we don't even build stuff like this, you know what I'm saying, anymore.
Right.
It was crazy. But yeah, Mom was there. That was a really great time. Had a shakeout. Had a couple people from We Run 313 at the shakeout. That was dope. That was super dope. But yeah, man, that was that. Oh, can I give you my feedback on the Adios Pro 3 really quick?
Yeah.
So I ran in the Adios Pro 3. I thought I was a fan of somewhat. Like it wasn't my favorite shoe. Like it's never been my favorite shoe. But I thought it was like maybe number 2 or 3 in the marathon rotation. And maybe my legs just wasn't the day for them. But I literally took them shoes off, and that when I'm like, these dumb shoes, these stupid shoes. Like I didn't feel like I feel like they were like taking energy from me. I don't know what was happening. Like there was nothing there. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing there.
Yeah. No
like there's some shoes that no matter how tired you get, you can still feel that they're like, okay, maybe. It was just dead. Well, Mark,
I clicked it right before you.
Mark, okay. Hey man, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, I'll say this. I know somebody that's that wears your size that's that's searching for a marathon. I mean, for a half marathon race shoe. So if you don't want to wear those anymore,
and I think honestly, that like so those shoes I think they currently have still a half marathon world record. I think the guy who has that record, I think they are a half marathon shoe. Like I mean, because they are very quick. Like but I just think over time, I just feel like they're just not what some of the other shoes to me are. So
yeah, that's interesting. I was at Gazelle.
Whoever that is can have them.
Okay, I'll let them know. I was at Gazelle, and it's funny. We were having a conversation about the Saucony Endorphin Elites, and Sabrina from Gazelle, she said she ran a marathon in them, and she was like, I wouldn't run any other race distance in these shoes, but it's something about the marathon that they just work
for the elites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I didn't necessarily love them, but I just ran in them like some short distances. But you never know though, because I think Menachem said he's getting the elites too.
Mm-hmm.
He has them, and he put up I think a 17 mile in them. He said he really liked them. But yeah, the Pro 3s weren't it for me that day, and I think also is because Adidas like let me hold the $500 shoe, and bro, when I tell you. I've held slides that were heavier than these shoes. They Believe in the Run has them at 10.5. They're 5.1 ounces.
Yeah, they described them as like paper mache.
There's nothing to them. There's nothing.
I don't know if I would like that.
It almost feels too light in your hand.
I don't know if I would like that.
I didn't think. I mean, when holding it doesn't feel like it's gonna be right. Like
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would like feeling like I'm running barefoot.
It just. but
or
they
like
could,
or they're so light and thin, like you tear them,
yeah, you are going to tear them.
like you
Like,
trip
I'm
and
gonna break out of these and have to run the rest of the race barefoot.
yeah, your toe sticks out the front.
Their top guy, Emmanuel, their top Adidas guy. I think he broke the German record in them. I think he ran 2:04 and some change, and that was his PR, obviously. And then old girl ran 2:11. She ran 2:14 something last year in the Pro 3s.
15.
What?
She ran 2:15 last year.
Last year? Oh, 2:15 last year. Yeah, because the record is 2:14. It was 2:14 high.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ran 2:11. So crazy. But yeah. But I really was like talking junk. I mean, I would have loved just to run in just to see what the deal is. Because it just looked crazy. It's a beautiful shoe to me, but
it looks really nice. It
just looks so. It seems so. It's just too light. My mom held him, and she's like, she asked. So my mom is in the room with the designer of the shoe, like the head of the lead or whatever, that's in all the videos holding the shoe. And so she's like, "What about this right here?" Like, and like there's like the ridge was actually like sharp, and it's like rough. She's like where the ankle would be on the outside. My mom's like, how is this gonna work out? And then she's like, oh well, no. And then she showed her like wherever. And my mom's like, but anybody with an ankle is like, this is gonna be a thing. And she's like, well, no, it's blah blah. We flip it out. And so my mom's like, okay, all right. As soon as she walked out, she was like, that's gonna be a problem. I was like, perfect, bro, perfect. All right, let's move on.
Quality control. Yeah. We love it.
Yeah, Berlin was all in all, Berlin was great. Let's just say that. Not let's just say it was great. So, PR project never sleeps. New York City, 5 weeks out. How y'all feeling?
Today was the first day where I felt cumulative fatigue set in.
Oh, good.
I got back from my run, and my legs. I did the normal air relax boots, this full recovery, and my legs just felt sore and I felt tired. I actually went out and got a soda for the caffeine. Like I haven't had a soda in I can't remember last time. I went to the store and split a Diet Pepsi with Megan. I was like, I got to get something in me. I didn't want a hot coffee.
Whoa.
So that's pretty crazy over here.
Diet Pepsi. Wow, you really let your hair down, Gary. That's crazy.
Yo.
Yeah.
Really let his hair down with half a Diet Pepsi.
Oh man, what you
gonna? Today was a weird day for me though.
You said what?
I said today was a good workout, 2x5 at marathon pace, but anything that could have gone wrong did. But I mentally just powered through. Like I hit the wrong button for the workout to start the run with. I got a blister, like a pretty good bloody looking blister in the back of my heel.
Today?
Today at the end of the first 5 miles. I thought I had one of those burrs, those like prickly burrs. I felt like I had that in my heel when I finished, but it was just the blister. So I think it's because I had the vapor tubes, and you get all the rocks and stuff in the back of those. I think something got in there and really did some damage back there. And then
I didn't want to say it to you like in the moment, but I think we gotta throw them ankle socks in the trash and go crew socks. I don't know if it'll make a difference, but I just think it'll help.
I mean, but look, Aaron. I mean, when you got a following like Gary has, it's like, I mean, I look at his demographic. It's 95% women. You
got to show as much leg as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you think I got all these followers? You know what I'm
saying? It's a good point.
Gary literally messaged me and said, "Hey, do you think CLA has 2-inch shorts?" I'm like, bro, no. No,
them split shorts that they sent us, the ones that Gary wore today, they are very revealing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, don't sit down. Just stand up. You good.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. They're very well made, but that little split, boy, let me tell you.
It's a bad take.
1/4 socks is best. 1/4 socks is the ones that's like
they in between crew and ankle. It's kind of like how the track Smith socks are.
Race day. Oh wait, crew is
like right up to the bottom of your calf, like I wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think race day for me is that 1/4 sock.
The Weeknd and Drake said it best. They loving the crew.
Jesus Christ. Hey, yo, dog.
Shout out McKinley. 2023 New York Marathon, first time going.
Ooh, that's what's up. That's what's up. We'll see
You
you
gonna
out
enjoy
there.
it, McKinley. I look forward to seeing you run that race, man. You deserve it.
See you out there, man. Yeah. It felt really cool to have all the PR project was out there today during the We Run 313 run. I just looked around like, wait a minute, we all right here, dog.
Yeah.
We
I
all
didn't
right
even get
here.
a chance to embrace it because I had to.
You had to
giddy
get to
up.
work. You had to get to work.
I watched Gary though, so me and Gary kind of our paths kind of overlapped a couple times in the workout. So we did our 3 mile warm up, and then we kind of took a second to pause for the cause just to prepare for the work. So I'm like, I guess I'm y'all rabbit because him and Ern both had 2x5. Ern was but they were both at marathon pace and I was at half marathon pace, so I knew I would be a little faster. So I ran the first rep, and all I was thinking was like, I really hope Gary doesn't catch me going up this hill. The first rep was super hilly, like it was like the big long lake. It was like the whole long lake stretch.
Yeah.
So it's the first climb that isn't that bad, and then the second climb that's like, okay, I'm over it, and then the last climb that's like sharp, and it's like you turn off onto Adams, and it's just like it kind of handle your pride right there. It's like, here, hold this, and then you make that left. Gary passed me, and I'm just like, yeah, like once I started recovering after the first rep, and Gary passed me, I could see him like gaining on me as I'm running my recovery. And I'm just like, man, Gary looks strong. Gary looks really strong today.
Thanks.
So it was cool. It's been a minute since I ran next to Gary. We ran a lot of the training block last time around together. So it was cool to be back out there with you and kind of sharing the roads with you, kind of using that kinetic energy to push me through. So that was cool. Even though I told Gary, I said, it's all smooth sailing from here. And then we abruptly ran into 2 more hills. So that was kind of unfair on my part, but you know, it was cool. It was cool to enjoy that portion.
Yeah, no, but honestly, I think I was telling you, I think I ran September was 9,900 feet of elevation for me. So, yeah. I mean, being out here helps quite a bit, but hopefully by the time we get to New York, the hills will just feel like nothing except for maybe that it's the Queensboro everybody talks about. Other than that, I think I'm in a good frame for that. Good frame of mind for those, for sure.
Yeah, now that I think that I really am going to be more intentional about actually like pulling the effort back a little bit, going over the hills and over the bridges in New York City. Just kind of like as an experiment to see like, okay, can I regulate my effort well enough to not like die on every bridge? So that's like one of the several goals that I have that I want to execute. Like really, New York City is going to just be like a test of executing to plan for me rather than like running to a time.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that because I think a lot of times we know, like I go into a race like thinking like, okay, just average on the hills, you know, but you never really do it. Like you if your pace is 7 flat, you go up it at maybe 7:05, you know, barely let off, and then you fly down on the other side. Do that like 5 times over a course that is never flat. New York is never flat at almost any point. And it's just too much. Like, so like it's almost like you need to go up the hill at like 7:20, purposely pull back, just get up the hill and then bomb down.
Yeah.
Cause it doesn't play out well over time. Like you think you know it, but you don't ever do it.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like race discipline is like my race discipline. If that was like a rating in NBA 2K, like my race discipline would be like 25, bro. Like it's terrible. Like I don't. I tell myself like how I'm gonna do it every time, and then I don't. So I definitely want to.
I don't know. Bay Shore, bro. Them splits was crazy.
And I was still hot though. I told myself I was gonna get out even more conservative than what I did, and I still didn't. So.
Oh, so is this question? I'm sure is about New York. How do the hills compare to Boston? Longer but less steep? I don't even remember. I don't remember.
Everything that I mean,
Would you say the hills are steep in New York?
No,
They're just like they're like a
the hill the hill at the half mile is probably the most steep hill that you'll run, because the bridge isn't like super long, it's just kind of tall. But
Queensboro, right?
no, that's not
it's
Queensboro.
16.
Queensboro is 16. Queensboro is the one that's super long, and it's like you're under the actual. So the thing about New York is those bridges are long, like they're and also the neighborhood hills is just like a lot of. It's not like the grade is disrespectful. It's just the distance of the hill is like I've been climbing for the last 12 minutes. Like this is annoying, kind of vibe.
Yeah. So they aren't as steep, but they do last for a while. I mean, because eventually, you got like the boats that have to go under. I mean, they are all tall. You know, they're not like little bridges, but it's just it takes a long time to get to the peak of them. It takes a lot of fight.
Queensboro specifically, Verrazano is
that's a mile.
Yeah, but that's just all downhill. Well, no, you start
all up.
It's going up. Yeah. But the Queensboro, the worst part for me about Queensboro is you don't see where the crest is.
Never.
I didn't, at least. It was so many people on the bridge at one time that you don't get a good gauge of when the bridge actually crests and start going down, because it's just so many people. So that was so tricky, because it's like you don't know, and you just like feeling like you're gonna be climbing forever because you don't see the literal light at the end of the tunnel.
And then, also because it's the underside of the bridge, you can't really you can't tell. Like there's the other bridges, like the way that they're structured, you can tell like from a distance. That's the biggest pillar. That's the tallest one. When we get there, we're going to have. You can't really see because it all looks the same. You're in this weird like thing, but it ends quick. I feel like that ends quicker than you think. Looking in the moment, it seemed like it was just terrible. But you never, when you go over the other side, you don't even go fully down the other side of that bridge. You get off of that little ramp, and then and then you steep downhill, hard turn, and then you're back.
And then it's mariachi music going off.
But then the rest of it, I mean, the whole course is such a rolling course. I didn't think that was gonna be. I thought, like, you just gotta be ready to roll, honestly. Yeah. And then on the big hills, just take your time and know that you're gonna need as much energy as you have after mile 22.
Yeah, I would definitely try and get some tempos or some tempo runs or long runs in on a rolling course or route or whatever, just to kind of get used to it.
Yeah,
I've been watching a lot of videos, listening to these guys talk about the course and whatnot, and it's just rolling. So just try and get your body used to that.
It's like it's like Aaron said, like, I mean, it's really probably a very strategic race. I feel like. I think Boston is too, but I think Boston actually may be kind of less of a strategic race, because New York has trouble kind of everywhere. Like it's spread out. It's like all day, and then you think you're done. Like, oh, this is gonna be great. We're coming to Central Park. Central Park. I seen some people chilling. Like, yo, it's over. You know?
I'm on film in Central Park on YouTube forever. Fallen victim.
One of the most popular people in running. I was like, yo,
on the Summer Jam screen, bro.
I was like,
that was in the park?
That wasn't even in the park yet. That was like right. So that's another man, so much. And I think it's because the weather kind of made everything worse. But that street before, like that street with the big screen at the end of it,
felt like a mile.
So long. Like
I
literally was on that street for 20 minutes.
I said that it was a half. I said to somebody like, yeah, like that one. What I was like, what is that, like a 3/4 of a mile up that thing? And they're like, what street are you talking about? And I told them what street. They're like, that's like 400 meters,
bro. I was on that street for 20 minutes.
No, it's that road seems like so far away. Like it's just a block. It's literally just a block. It seemed like it was the worst. It was like maybe because the screen was so big that it just seemed like it wasn't like getting any closer. And then by then you're like just struggling. That's at mile 25 point something.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one before you get into the park. It's a long street before you turn into Central Park. There's a long street.
The first time or the second time?
It's at like mile 21.
So
okay. So before you're going in,
Yeah, right before you go into the park.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the one.
You're talking about the one where the lady was standing there telling us don't trip over the little thing.
Yes, that's true. I said to somebody that was almost a mile, and they're like, "Yeah, bro, you are tripping." But yeah, it's a really fun. It sounds terrible. It's if it's 50, 60 degrees, I'm telling you that could be a fast race.
Let's hope
because the crowds are just so crazy.
Let's hope
imagine 40 degrees. Imagine if that was a good day. I mean, the crowds like they're so crazy.
I think that's like the definition of a mental course, though. Like you have to think your way through that course. You can't. It's tough to grit your way through that course. You have to think your way through that.
No,
course.
if you're gritting before Queensboro Bridge is over.
Yeah, because that's gonna take all your grit. That's gonna knock all. You're gonna be at 1 HP by the time you get off that bridge.
It's like you got to be able to chill but fight at the same time through everything. Relax, take the hills, and be patient. And I feel like Gary, cover your ears.
No.
No, I feel like Gary is like designed for this course. I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Because Gary can take Gary is good with the hills, and he's also good with pacing. So yeah, I feel like it's made for. I think it's made for a Masters runner. To be honest, it's made for somebody that's been there before, like been to the well before.
I mentioned this to you earlier, one of you two earlier on. Like, maybe I'm not a flat marathon racer.
Yeah, flat. That Berlin flat. Like, I mean, it does something different to your legs, bro. So listen.
I would suggest we don't do this because when things go bad, they're like, "Come on, Aaron, you can do it."
Bro,
I cannot.
Bro, your name is on your bib. I mean, it's on your singlet.
I know, but man.
Yeah, I know, but listen. So Berlin does first names on the bib, right? So mine says Thomas on the front. Lance's says Lance on the front, right? So like as I'm going through the race, every time somebody would yell Thomas, I know they was just reading my name, and it was just like, whatever. Like I'm not gonna acknowledge that. But then it's like not but like you can't look at everybody who just reads your bib. And then Tommy, I'm like, okay, what up? Right? So my mom sees Lance twice, right? And she yells out Lance. He doesn't look. She sees him again at the end. She yells out Lance and gets a video, and he doesn't even look, doesn't even turn his head. And I said something to him, like, bro, it was so many people yelling my name. I just started ignoring people because he was like, ain't nobody calling me. Like, as he said, the first couple of miles, he looking around like, dang, people know me in Berlin. And he was like, he look over, and he was like, I don't know this lady. But like, so by the time he saw my mama, he was just ignoring everybody. But yeah. So yeah, you got your name on your bib. It's over, Aaron. I mean, on your singlet, it's over. All right, real quick. We'll just run through this one. So TRE announcement. We PR Project is partnering with TRE, which is the running event in Austin, Texas, every year. It's an event where the brands and running retail specialty stores come together, and they get to see all the stuff that's coming out in the next year or two, and then they get to like meet and talk about merchandising and stuff like that. So it's like Kafuzi and trade show, yeah. Yes, sorry, trade show. Yeah, it's Kafuzi, Believe in the Run, and Running Warehouse, and all these other media outlets have like go there, and I've been there in that aspect before as well. Like they go there and they show all the cool shoes that they can show, but a lot of the stuff that's going to be there is going to be embargo, which means you can't show them yet. So it's going to be like they'll be showing us stuff that's going to be coming out in like 2024, 25, stuff like that, But we pitched a deal and all that stuff, and they're partnering with PR Project to bring you all the first ever TRE live stream. So it's a private event that will now be shown in a public way with set up right in the middle of the trade show floor. And we're gonna be interviewing different brands. They're gonna stop in throughout the hours that we're doing a live stream to talk about what they can show us, talk about technology, talk about initiatives and different things that we can actually expect as buyers within like more of an immediate future. So it'll be really cool to just chat with all these brands, all these stores, and some of the media folks are going to stop by and kick it with us on the show. So we're really looking forward to that. I think it's a really big deal. You know, everything ain't about race, but certain things are, and I think it's just really dope that you know, some black folks and black and brown folks that will be sitting there in the middle of a conference. I mean, in the middle of this trade show. That honestly, when I went 2 years ago for the first time, didn't necessarily feel like I belonged there. You know, like it was maybe 2 or 3 of us black folks there, and to have it to full circle that, to like be able to be part of the thing and not just have a little booth off to the side, but have a partnership with a organization like that is just huge to me.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it, and I think as we get closer to it, we can start making some announcements as to who we might be interviewing. So be on the lookout for that. And you know, if there's any questions you want us to ask on your behalf, you know, let us know in the comments. You know, we will definitely you know, ask what we can, depending on what's allowed, and it's going to be a pretty cool experience for sure.
For sure, but. So that's exciting. That's dope. So to tap in, make sure you follow TRE, follow obviously the PR Project on Instagram. And okay, cool. Joe said, what did Joe say? Joe said, me and Lance will be doing a panel too. So Joe Lance will be there. So that's super dope. Yeah, it's a dope thing. And the more the merrier, obviously. But first things first, PR Project never sleeps in New York. And Aaron has a little thing going on before that, so, but that's new, you know. Yeah,
I mean, I said it. I mean, people know I'm doing indie. It's not.
Yeah, but I want you to go. I want you to randomly go there and pop up with some random crazy number. But all right, so real quick, we gotta get to the shoe, right? Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah,
we have to give a shoe away. Like the video, like the stream on YouTube. We're giving shoes away.
Giving shoes away. If you haven't liked it yet, click the like button. We're gonna do this right now because we're already at 107. Let me see what we got here. How do I share my screen again? Let me see.
Yes, y'all ever noticed that the acorns have fallen a little bit harder this year from the trees?
I seen them green tennis ball things.
Yeah, I almost got hit today. Like it literally hit, went right by me. I feel like
I almost got hit by a car today. Actually,
that wasn't me.
Over Coolidge Highway on 14 Mile.
That's not good, man.
Did you go behind it, in front of it? Because you gotta know that when a car's coming, you gotta go behind it. So
the light turned red, and she didn't care. She didn't even look. Because, you know, off Coolidge, she was trying to make a right.
Yeah.
But.
So we were running today. I was with other people. We were running today. And right next to, like 3 feet, 2 deer. Just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
It was other people there. And somebody's, I didn't say nothing. I was like, dang. And then somebody was like, dang, man, these deer really be coming out. Like, it's real, bro. I did something in a different life, bro. I'm telling you. Something happened.
Tommy runs, the deer whisperer.
I don't know what I did to deserve this. I really don't. All right, let's do this.
That venison sausage you ate.
Probably. All right. They can smell it. Anyway,
one last tangent. I heard somebody say the more animals you eat, the stronger you are because you take on their strengths.
Was this that one that bodybuilder guy?
What was not the liver? No, not the liver guy. No.
Yeah. Okay.
The Liver King.
Not the Liver King.
Yo, they said that he got busted like taking performance enhancements.
Bro, he's geared up to the gills, bro.
And he said he wasn't. He said he was all
You know,
natural.
like
just
10,000. They
eating.
say you know like $10,000 worth of stuff a month.
Yeah, I seen like I clicked on one of his videos because somebody said something about him. He was like eating like chicken balls.
He's disgusting, bro.
And I ain't talking about like I ain't talking about like
Not
popcorn
like chicken nuggets. No,
Popcorn chicken.
I'm talking about
not a boot nugget from McDonald's. No.
oh my god.
All right, we giving away shoes. Let's give away some shoes, man. We've been out here.
Shoes
forever.
right now. We're doing it right now. All right, hold on.
Me and Gary was just trying to kill time while you was figuring out how to share your screen.
Oh, I had stopped and everything. I was into it. I gave up. Hold on, here we go. I wasn't even looking at that no more. What happened? Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Walk is
all right,
free.
here we go.
Rock is free.
Guac is free.
You get a new pair of shoes and some guac. Congrats.
This guy.
All right.
This guy, man. I feel like he went everywhere.
Wait, who is that?
This
who
is
is that?
Jake that work at Gazelle.
Oh, that's his last name? I
Yeah.
know that. Oh, dang. He don't even need
Fun
no
fact,
shoes.
I used to work with his mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
she worked
fine.
third shift, and I ain't even gonna say that, but yeah, she's a super nice lady.
Congratulations, Jacob. I said that he should start an Instagram page called Carbon Plate Jake because he got all the carbon plate shoes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
go
Hey, that
ahead,
was our
Carbon Plate
last
Jake.
giveaway for the Summer Speed, right?
Oh, dang, yeah. Last giveaway, Summer Speed. Summer is over. Summer Speed is also over. Thank you so much, On, for blessing us with 6 pairs of shoes to give away over the last 12 weeks.
shout
That
out
was dope.
Sweden.
Yes. Who?
Sweden.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, the whole country. Yeah,
Right?
that's it.
On is from Sweden, right? I'm not tripping.
No, I think it's
They're from the Netherlands.
Switzerland. I don't know, bro. You making me? It's
Swiss.
got a little.
Switzerland.
Who's
It's
Swiss?
Swiss. It's a Swiss. The flag
Is that
says Swiss
Sweden?
flag. Yeah.
Is that Sweden?
Sweden's a separate country.
Switzerland. Switzerland.
Sweden has the cross with a blue and gold, like light blue with a gold cross
Shout out
on
Switzerland.
its side, and Switzerland's the white cross in the middle of with a red background.
That's that. That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Swiss. There we go.
So they gave us knives
They
and
make
cloud
really good
burst.
army knives.
They gave us knives and cloud surfers.
And cheap.
There's this great Tracy Morgan sketch about the Swiss. I gotta find that now.
Nah, I want to know what this is all about. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Congratulations, Jake. Congratulations, everybody that's running well this summer. Big shout out to everybody that's running Chicago next weekend.
I'll be
Get
there.
after it.
I'll see you there.
If you need pointers, ask Aaron.
You don't need marathon pointers from me, that's for sure.
All right, you guys are the bestest.
Until next time.
See ya.
Dankeschön. That's German.
Thanks.